So this video is for anybody who is struggling with the concept of finding your purpose, finding your destiny. Now, I can definitely say I'm not all the way there in terms of knowing the entirety of what that looks like, but I've definitely realized some patterns, and people have been asking me, younger people now are asking me, like early 20s or teens, they ask me, how do I find my purpose, etc. And so this video is kind of an answer to that question based on some of the things I've been pondering on from my own life and thinking about some of the other people's lives I know, and even some biblical characters. And I want to start by saying this: destiny is not something that you find, destiny is something that finds you. And what do I mean by this? So, an example of this is found in the life of King Saul, found in the Bible. So before Saul becomes king, we know the conversation is happening, and the children of Israel, they don't want God to be their Lord. They don't want their God to be their ruler. They want a physical king now. And so God says, even though this ain't what I want, this is not what I intended, let me give the people what they want. They want a king. And so there's this man called Saul. He's wandering around looking for his father's sheep. And in that moment of looking for his father's sheep, the prophet meets him, and that is his appointment with destiny. Right? He's going to the prophet thinking the prophet's gonna know where the sheep are, and the prophet is thinking God has chosen you to be the next king. So let's take a step back, right? This man could have easily just said, "Well, it's just a couple sheep. We got loads at home. I'm just gonna ignore these sheep, right? I'm just gonna forget that these sheep even exist, and I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know what happened to them," right? But we see a man here who was being diligent with what was placed in front of him, and in the diligence of that, we see him end up in this moment of destiny. We see David the same. Actually the same, diligent in looking after his father's sheep. We see that through the scriptures. We see that there are instances where the sheep are getting into some combat with some different animals here, and David has to jump in with the lion, with the bear, and defeat lions and bears to save sheep. So you see the level of diligence and the level of care that he has for these sheep. And it's that same doing everything he could to protect those sheep that allowed him to enter the next phase of his life. Because even after he was anointed by Samuel, the thing that really got him into a position of more power was taking down Goliath. And his confidence from taking down Goliath came from the fact that Goliath to him was no different than a bear or a lion that he had previously defeated on behalf of those sheep. So we see this diligence in what you're doing, helping you to find this moment of destiny. And one of the issues I find with a lot of young people is that they want to find destiny so bad, quote unquote destiny. They want to find purpose so bad that they end up doing nothing. They end up sitting there, and they end up thinking so much about this calling of God that they believe that they have, that they are not being diligent with what's in front of them. So many of the open doors in my life have come in a way that I didn't even know the open doors were coming. Just like David, just like Saul, in a sense. I remember working with Apostle Tommy and him living far away. And just because I wanted to work with him more closely, I knew I wanted to move closer to where he lived. It wasn't like divine. It wasn't like a deep prophecy. It was just like the commute was too long. I just couldn't be doing it every day. It was too much. And so to be closer, in order to be closer, I therefore had to move. And so I moved closer. And in that moving closer, I was able to work with Dr. Sharon. In that working with Dr. Sharon, so much things in my life were unlocked that allowed me to get closer and closer on this path of destiny. So much healing, so much growth, so there's just a ridiculous amount of stuff, right? But I wasn't doing that looking for destiny. I was literally just trying to be faithful with the step that's right in front of me. And we're looking for this moment, and these divine moments happen. We see it in the lives of so many people in the scripture. We see Esther just being diligent and faithful in obeying Mordecai's instructions. And then it gets to this divine moment where she now has the power to save a nation from being wiped out. She literally has the power to prevent a genocide because she's been faithful, serving her uncle. We see Ruth with Naomi, who has just been so loyal to Naomi, and this moment of destiny comes upon her. She's going to get food for Naomi, literally to make sure that Naomi survives. Ruth is out here working, looking after her mother-in-law, and in this looking after her mother-in-law, this moment of destiny comes upon her, and Boaz shows up. And so the point really is this: you are so fixated on destiny, you are so fixated on purpose, you are so fixated on this thing that is outside of you, that is far away, that you are not doing anything with what's in front of you right now. That you are not taking the responsibility to look after, to steward, to take care of what's actually in your hand right now. And if we look at all of these biblical patterns and the lives of people who you believe are in destiny, I believe that you'll find that what they did was they were very, very good stewards of what was in front of them or what was in their hand today. And that turned into a moment of destiny for tomorrow. I have been able to make hundreds of thousands of pounds helping my wife create courses. Now, I didn't know that while I was working with Dr. Sharon, just being faithful in helping her and us through the COVID time when everything got locked down and a lot of her income was ministry based, so she couldn't travel. So much was shut down. I didn't know that helping her build an online program in that time would translate into me helping my wife build online programs, which would generate hundreds of thousands of pounds. I was just diligent in doing my job with Dr. Sharon. I was just helping in the way that I could help. And so for everybody looking for destiny, you've come here and you found an answer, and you're probably quite dissatisfied with the answer, because the truth is the answer is what's in your hand right now and how well are you taking care of it. And if you're not taking care of it well, if I were you, I wouldn't expect this divine destiny moment, because even if it comes, I don't believe you'd be prepared for it. The way to prepare for those moments is to take care of what is in your hand right now. So maybe you know God's called you to be that entrepreneur that you're supposed to be, and you're Ubering, or you're in that cleaning job or whatever, and you're just in a place that doesn't seem to align. Be faithful with that. Be faithful with that opportunity. Serve and serve and serve and do it right. Why? Because there is a divine moment coming. There is a moment where your preparation will align with what you deem to be purpose. But without the preparation, the purpose will not happen. It will not make sense. And so spend this preparation time. Destiny is not just these divine moments. Yes, we have these moments that take us to a new level, but every 24 hours you get, how you use that, how your discipline is set up with that 24 hours will really determine the place that you end up. So does God give you purpose? Yes. Does God want you to find purpose? Yes. Does God want you to find destiny? Yes. But I want you to know there's a lot of surprises along the way, and there's a lot of twists and turns that you're definitely not going to be expecting. And so the one thing you can do, and the one thing that's sure, is that whatever you have right now, you need to take care of. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you've enjoyed the video. And by the way, remember, these videos are only for people who want to improve their life. Watch at your own risk. They're going to challenge you. We'll be back tomorrow.